the FNL Network talk show.
Welcome to the FNL Network talk show. I'm your host, Holly Hester, and I'm here with the lovely Diana Gebbia and Geoffrey Owens and the lovely Marianne Estridge.
Hi.
How is everyone tonight?
Doing great. How are you?
Good.
Awesome. You guys look awesome, and it feels awesome being here with you. So let's jump right in. So let's start out with a light note. Guy Fieri runs this show that takes him across the country to taste some of the best foods. These 10 Texas restaurants featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives have all closed. Anywhere from noodles, meat, and tomatoes, as well as served with a delicious side of garlic toast, costing a whopping $8 a bowl. Lasagna and barbecue together for a whopping $15 a plate, with the side of sriracha and kimchi fries as a side. Why have they closed? Has eating out gotten too expensive, or is it worth eating for foodies? Thoughts? Let's go ahead. Marianne.
I think going out to eat has become very pricey, extremely pricey. My husband and I took my bonus daughter out this past week, and what we normally get has gone up. I swear it seems like $10. And it's insane. So for a lot of us, it's easier just to cook at home. And I know that with the pandemic, people were shut in, and a lot of them just want to get back out and get out and enjoy things with their family, with their friends. And I understand that. We're the same way. We really enjoy going out to eat as a family. We love it. It's one of my bonus daughter's favorite things to do is we'll take her to different restaurants that she likes. But a lot of times it is more expensive. And I think that is probably why a lot of restaurants are going out of business. As much as I hate to see it, I've seen a lot of them, especially like local ones, smaller ones, restaurants that I used to love. Some are in our town that I absolutely love have gone out of business because they just can't keep up. People don't want to pay the prices, and it's supply and demand. Things have been changing. The cost of ingredients, the cost of everything has gone up exponentially since the pandemic. So that's my thoughts. It's just everything is so pricey right now.
Definitely agree with you about pricing. Diana, I know you're going to have some good things to say, so I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, I want to say those prices sound cheap to me because I'm in LA. So I was like, oh, $8, like nothing's $8 here. Nothing's $15. I just went to John and Vinny's last week, which they're delicious, but like for a personal pizza, I think it was $22, and like you could get a big pie for cheaper than that in New York. So yeah, LA is expensive, but I do agree with a lot of what Marianne said. And again, that's not a knock on John and Vinny's, by the way, because it was delicious. I just have to say that. But I do agree with a lot of what Marianne said. Because of the pandemic, things have gotten more expensive, but restaurants did have to shut down for a period of time. So I think they're trying to make their money back, and they have to make up for that in some drastic ways. I remember the first time I ate out since the pandemic, this was like in November 2020, I want to say. I went to Sir from Vanderpump Rules, and I had eaten there before the pandemic, but I noticed something's changing. Like they charged for water, like they charged for the bottle of water they bring you to the table. Yeah. And then they charged us, they were like, oh, do you want bread for the table? And we were like, yeah, sure. And they charged us for that. So like, I get it, no knock to the restaurant industry. It's hard, there's competition, but it is getting pricier to eat out. And, at some point, something's got to change. Unfortunately, it just seems like inflation's going to keep going the way that it is. So maybe more jobs or just some other ways we can fix things.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. That's so well worded. It's crazy. It just actually depends on what city you're in, I guess. Yeah. And especially because of inflation. Jeff, how about you?
Yeah, so my opinion on that is I feel like people are just thinking smarter. They're not so easily going out and spending crazy money because everything has gone up. So people are just budgeting money differently because they really don't know what's going to happen next. So I think people are thinking smarter. No, people are still going out, like summertime is hitting here and I see people everywhere, but I think the average person that, with the economy shooting up the way it did, they're just trying to make sure that everything that is needed to take care of rent and bills and electricity is more important than me spending extra money going out. I could do that at home with my family and enjoy them versus spending the extra money that is being kicked out when you go to the restaurants because of the inflation and everything has gone up. So I think people are just thinking smarter until they see some difference in why that, everything is more expensive and why their balance of their money has to balance with what's going on. I just feel like people are just thinking smarter. They're not so quickly to go out and spend crazy money when they could spend it somewhere else where it's needed.
That's very well said. Yeah, people are just wanting to eat more indoors, I guess, and they want to be with their families more. These are all great points. I love it. I love it. So kind of switching into families. Speaking of families, I love that you guys are all saying that, and you all want to spend time with your family. I know that everyone on this call loves their family. Jennifer Love Hewitt loves her children. She loves her family so much that she dedicates a tattoo to them. This is a spicy issue. It's more of a dedication specialty. She dedicates her tattoo collection in honor of her kids. Anyone heard of Jennifer Love Hewitt lately? So on April 12th, the actress and artist Victoria, they reveal a butterfly illustrated across Hewitt's upper left arm, as well as her tiny fingers scattered across her hands. Butterflies for her kids and some finger adornments for the sweetest. So apparently one tattoo up above her left arm, one is for her children. It's a butterflies, and the other is for her husband. So I guess she's completely dedicating her whole body to her family. This is a trend. Should we get used to these trends, and are they long lasting? I love this issue because it's so spicy, this topic, and everyone looks at it very differently. I'm going to start with Diana, because she's always got some great things to say.
I'm glad you did, because I have a butterfly tattoo and I don't care what the trend is. It's on my ankle. I have two little butterflies, and I got it because butterflies are my symbol and I'm on the right path. Like, even though monarchs are going extinct, like I still managed to see them. I actually got a beautiful picture of one like up close on a flower yesterday, over at Lake Hollywood Park. So I wanted to have my symbol that I'm on the right path on me. So it's just on the inside of my left ankle. That way, if I'm ever feeling discouraged, I just look at my butterflies and remember I'm on the right path. But, everyone, I feel like, this is going to sound so conceited, but sometimes I feel like I do something and I don't put it out there. But like, I don't know if my vibration just makes it popular, because like now everyone has butterfly tattoos, which is great. But I'm just like, what the heck? Like, I never was like, go get your butterfly tattoo, or it's just a coincidence or something. But, as far as trendy body art, like, it's going to be on you forever. So just either make peace with it or don't get it, or wait to get something that's really special to you. And I don't care about the trend as far as it comes to my butterflies. Like, I got them for a totally different reason. But good for Jennifer Love Hewitt. I think hers are pretty too.
I love it. I love it. I did not know that you had a tattoo of a butterfly. That's so cute.
Yeah.
So see, those are just trends. Those are lovely trends. Some are dedicated to something even deeper than us. There are other trends like red, the color red you see everywhere, cargo pants and sheer see-through in trends. Jeff, what do you have to say about this? Because I know that you're a designer, an ultimate designer. So go ahead, I want to hear your thoughts.
So do you want to know the tattoo or the trends? Because the tattoos, I have two tattoos. So I have two tattoos. I have a Taurus, and I have my brand of my Zunique on my arm. My best friend is on Chicago Black Ink, Penza. So she is building a tattoo on my arm. I know they say as a Christian, you're not supposed to have that, but I'm an artist, so I love creativity. I feel like She does it because she's wearing her love of who she loves on her body. She's using that as her art, as her canvas. I feel like now with people with trends, it's not really a trend. I think people are no longer living to the norm where if you see somebody in, blue collar, you're not supposed to have tattoos and all that. People's like, out with all this crazy stereotype. If I like what I like, let me put these things on my body. It should not dictate who I am. And I think people are just not going with the normal, everyday stereotypes of what back then, tattoos were like rebel type things that was too street hard, and people was like, no, it's art. So I think people are just looking at things differently now, and they're looking at it as art. And she's wearing the love of her family on her body. She walks with that every day, and she's expressing that through who she loves. I feel like that's what she's doing.
I love it. I love it. Marianne, what about you? I know that you have some incredible words too.
I have a tattoo, one of my wedding ring, actually. My husband and I got matching ones. And I know that there's a lot of taboo around that, but nobody has ever treated me as good as my husband. I mean, he is the most solid, incredible, kind, selfless person I've ever met. I've never heard the man raise his voice, and that's in half a decade. Like, I've never heard him raise his voice. I mean, he is I just call us peanut butter and jelly because we're always happy together, and he is just the sweetest. So there was no question that that's what I wanted to do. I've thought about getting more. I love sentimental tattoos personally. I have thought about getting my grandparents' handwriting, my mom's handwriting in different places, just because it's special to me. It means something. So I just say, if somebody has a tattoo that they want and it's not hurting anybody, it's not offensive, get one. I mean, I've got a friend who actually, Jeff mentioned he's a Christian. I am too, a very backslidden one that's working on, reaffirming my faith currently. But I have a friend with a sparrow on her arm, and she uses that as a tool to help people, tell them about God. So there's, tattoos can also tell its story. They can help people. They can be like a conversation starter. So I think they can be very positive. And ultimately, like I said, I'm a live and let live type person. If it's not hurting anybody, go for it.
I love that. I love that. And I love how you all have stories attached to your work of art, and it's art, and it's a greater meaning. That's wonderful. Transitioning into that, I'm glad that you said that about your husband and the fact that you guys even each other out. I'm sure a lot of loved ones, each time we tattoo ourselves or each time we do something self-expressive, it means something because we want to honor that person. Speaking of this, the script guitarist Mark Sheehan dies at 46 from a slow-going illness that was speculated as cancer. He leaves behind his loving family that went through this battle with him, speaking about family and speaking about those that mean something to us deeply. This happened to actress Raquel Welch, other guitarists, Lacelle Willander, and others, countless others. Oh my gosh. Could we see, is this just a coincidental? Could we see breakthrough in cancer? It's so nasty, and research in the possible future. Could we see a breakthrough with this? What are you guys' thoughts on this? Marianne, I want to start with you.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Because I got two moms, my adoptive mom and then my mom that had me. And my adoptive mom, that's who I grew up with. She died of cancer almost 14 years ago. And it was shattering. I can, as somebody who's dealt with cancer on a personal level, seeing my loved one literally waste away in my house in the hospital bed, I hate this disease. I absolutely hate it. And I really hope that they get some sort of breakthrough for a cure, because there's times, and this might be me just being too suspicious, but there's times that I sometimes wonder if someone has the cure and they like the money for the drugs. I don't know. I may be wrong, but sometimes I just wonder. And my dad's mentioned it because he mentioned it years ago with my mom being so sick. And he's like, the amount of money we've spent on all these, these bills, these drugs, these infusions, this chemo, they're making bank. They are making bank. And that just goes into a whole other discussion about healthcare. But I really hope that there is a breakthrough soon with a cure, because it's devastating. And I've known so many people that have had it, different types of cancer. I know for us, my husband and I try to make sure we eat really healthy. We eat a lot of vegetables. We grow a lot of vegetables here on the farm. We eat a lot of like salmon, and I personally don't really eat a lot of meat, if any, but I try to keep our diet really healthy, because I know that that's preventative, but you really never know what's going to happen. I mean, it can just creep up on you. And I've known people that are very healthy that boom, they get it. You just never know what's going to happen. So I think it's really important to be proactive. I think it's important to make sure that you take care of yourself, but I hope the doctors and scientists do their job too and keep on fighting to find a cure.
I love that. And I love how you're so outspoken about that, and how you're directing people in the right place, and you're telling them, hey, you can have this too. And, I hope you do right. I love that. You're standing for the right. You're kind of saying, no more of this type of thing. Like, do your part. I love it. Let's go with, Diane. Diana, what do you have to say about this?
Yeah. So my mom had stage 1 breast cancer, like 5-6 years ago, maybe even longer, but thankfully, like, she was faithful about her mammography, so they caught it at the very, very beginning. And kind of what you said, Marianne, like, it's like, how do we not have a cure yet? This thing has been around forever. But when I remember, I was so worried about my mom, and like, people said to me, like, you know what, that like technology is so advanced, and she caught it so early that like everything's going to be okay. And thankfully she was, and she also had a great attitude about it. So I think that also really helps. Mindset can also help with a lot of things. But you see all these fundraisers, like, we're going to find the cure for cancer. We're going to, all this money goes to the research. And it's like, I support it. I really want there to be a cure, but it's like, can we just get an update? Like, can someone let us know? Are we any closer? How's it going? Because this is just a terrible disease. And like you said, Marianne, you can try and prevent it all you want, but like, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw. I hate to say it, because some things do have to do with genetics, but like with my mom, she had nobody in her family that had breast cancer. That was on my dad's side. So, it has to do with your hormones, and like even drinking alcohol, like it's one of the leading causes of breast cancer in women, which like, wow, because like, I don't want to give up alcohol, but that's another thing you have to be mindful of. So all that, and if you live in California, there's a warning on every building that's like, this building's going to cause you cancer. So yeah, my point is, like, I hope we're getting closer to a cure, as Marianne said, because it just feels like everything is harmful to you nowadays. Cell phones, yeah, you name it.
With the 5G and everything. Yeah. And labels, shampoo bottles can give you cancer these days. Lip glosses can give you cancer,
You walk into Disney World or Disneyland, and it says, like, things in this property known to have chemicals that cause you cancer. Like, the happiest place on earth, like, has a prop whatever warning on it. So
and those poor kids, what are they gonna do about it? I love, before we transition into Jeff, thank you so much for he's a doll for his patients. You mentioned about the right attitude. You and Marianne are going in the right direction about this attitude thing. And the only reason I emphasize that is because a lot of people struggle to have the right attitude about that. So how important do you guys think is the right attitude? I want to ask you, because I have you right now. What can you expound a little bit on the right attitude?
Yeah, so with my mom, I remember when she found out the news, like, we were all like in the room together, and like my dad and I were upset, and she was like, why are you guys sad? I'm fine. Like, that was literally her attitude the whole time. Like, I'm fine. She had gotten her surgery to remove like the initial lymph nodes or whatever they needed to do, and came home, and she wanted to cook dinner that night. And I was like, absolutely not, like, we're ordering pizza. But that's just how she is as a person. Like, I unfortunately am not like that. Like I got more of the anxiety from my dad's side, but she just felt like she never once had the attitude of I'm sick. And of course I know there were people who had it much worse off than she did. So she kind of got lucky, knock on wood, that way. But it's just like you would have never known anything was wrong unless you asked her. And of course, you know, mindset is everything. However, there are just certain circumstances, like if you're born into poverty, obviously you can't just change your mind and you're going to go into a rich family. But if you look at it and you take it with a grain of salt, it could point you in the direction towards something better.
Absolutely. I love it. And that's kind of what you and Marianne are just, you know, really expounding on. Jeff, Jeff, my darling, you have been so patient over there. What do you think about this whole research thing? What do you think about the conspiracy with all this? Why have we lost so many people? And you think there's going to be a breakthrough in this cancer, nasty cancer stuff? Go ahead.
So I'm praying that it will be a breakthrough. I just look back over the years that it was really rare that you found out that somebody had cancer. It was just, it was shocking to you. But nowadays, they're so young getting cancer. And my personal opinion is, I think it's the stuff that they're putting in the foods. They put so many different chemicals in the food, and our body is reacting to those things. And those chemicals are going in our body. So it's breaking our body immune system down quicker than it normally does. So I'm just shocked. Like Boswick, he passed, he was like 40 something. And it was like quickly, I just feel like they're passing so young with cancer. You didn't hear of people so young catching it. It was as they were, you know, older because their body was getting older. So they couldn't fight, their immune system couldn't fight it. So I just, you know, my opinion is I feel like it's the chemicals. I feel like what's the name said about the mindset, it really is a mindset. I've been looking at Les Brown a lot in his motivational speaking, and everything starts with the mindset. So if you can program your mindset and trip your mindset from the negative to the power, to the positive, you can overcome some of the things that happen to you, because your body only responds to what you're taking on, like the anxieties, the fear. It eats away and make you die quicker. So, you know, kudos to your mom that she beat it through the mindset, and she was just like, oh no, we're not doing that. Because my walk has been literally a tripping of the mindset, the way I, thought and the way I think, so that I'm not bringing on those past generational things, curses. If I want to create a generational wealth, I have to get my mindset out of how I used to think. I got to think that I'm going to be there. I have to perceive me being there. So I think it all starts with the mind. You know, once people speak to you about cancer and all that, you automatically just get fearful. I'm going to die, because that's been our program. I'm going to, and it's like, I'm not going to die. I'm going to beat this. So I think it starts with that. I think it starts with the stuff they're putting in the foods that is taking us out quicker than we normally would have. These products with these plant-based, and we think they're plant-based, but it's other chemicals that's creating a hamburger. It's just crazy. So I think we need to look into more of that. I think they have a solution. I think they know. I think, the biggest money maker right now is medicine. Every time you turn around, there's a drugstore. Everything's about a drug and getting drugs in your system. And when I go to the hospital, even with my asthma and all that crazy stuff, I feel like I'm long-winded. I'm sorry, y'all. I just tell them, I don't want you to give me those drugs. If my immune system can fight it, let my immune system fight it. Don't have me addicted to something. And then it's hard for me to get off of that, because now I'm needing it. Like, I can't breathe without it. I don't want my life to be where I have to take a pump. So I just feel like I built my immune system up. I started running, I started working out. So those things that they say that I need, I say, I'm not going to be a crutch to that. So it is your mindset. So those are just some of the things I've experienced and I've overcome.
I love that. And I had no idea, Jeff, that you have asthma, that you struggle with that. And I'm my heart goes out to you for that. And the fact that you're even willing to change your mindset about that, that's tough. The average person would be like, no, like whatever, I'll do it. The fact that you're even aware of it and that you want to change and that you're refusing medicine is great. We're on this episode, we're by no means telling people to throw away their medication or anything, but just like, if you don't have to take it, don't take it, is what you're trying to say, like don't lean on it, yeah,
Yeah.
change your mindset. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that.
I just
That's
want to
so
tell you, because I real quick, I had a story. I went to the hospital when the COVID hit. I was running and I kept getting really sick and I could not breathe. So they put me on Prozac. And I didn't know at the time that they put me on it. So what it does, it opens you up. If you have asthma, it opens you up immediately. So I was taking it, not knowing that, when I was taking these pills, I was getting a relief, but I kept wind up going to the hospital. So the nurse comes in and she's like, you cannot be on that for a long period of time. And I was like, wow, what am I taking? She said, it's Prozac. She said, it kills your liver and everything. And I was like, okay, you need to take me off of that, because I'm thinking that it's something totally different. So I had them take me off of it, and I had to literally build my immune system up, and I had to fight. When I was having an attack, I had to say, no, I'm going to breathe. Okay, I'm going to continue persevering. I had to literally, because drugs, you become addicted to them. So once I got off of it, I no longer allow those things to be put in my system. So those are the things that we don't know. Sometimes when we go to the hospital and they got you on these medicines and you get these bills and they say the doctor came in the middle of the night and they gave you this and you gave that. I was like, I don't remember a doctor coming in, you get put on stuff, you don't even know that you're on this stuff, and this stuff have you all addicted and your system is reacting. So I think we just, when we go to the doctor, we just need to be really knowledgeable and not allow doctors, I know they're doctors, we need to research and what is the side effect? What is it going to do to my body? How is my body going to change from these things? I just, I wanted to tell, put that out there to tell people, be careful with these medicines, because I was on it and it was making me sick. And she was just like, one day she was just being nice. She said, you cannot continue being on it. You've been on this for over a year. She said, it's going to kill your liver and stuff. And I was like, okay, nobody told me that. He said, it breaks your system down. It breaks your bones and everything down. Like, it was just crazy, the stuff she was telling me. And I was just like, please don't give me any more of that. If it's not something like an antibiotic, I don't want you putting other stuff in my system. So I don't know. I just felt like I was led to say that. But yeah, that happened to me during COVID. And, I'm just very eerie with the medicines and stuff. And I think they know. I think they use it, and they use the medicine as another way to get people addicted to make money. Everything's about making money, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
They'll kill a human being just to benefit and make money. Even COVID, it was a money maker. They had us taking all those, injections and stuff, and now people are sickly from the injections, and it's just crazy. Like, you don't think about life enough that you will kill somebody just so you can be a billionaire or make millions of dollars off of someone else's life. To me, that's crazy. Like, so I think we all just need to be more knowledgeable.
I was gonna say, like, you brought up injections, and I thought of Ozempic, which we talked about a little while ago. And like, I was watching this Skinny Shot on Hulu, which is a documentary about it, and like, I think it was Chelsea Handler said that her doctor in Beverly Hills was just handing out samples of Ozempic. And this is for people who are diabetic. If you are like really overweight and you can't change your body any other way, that's one thing. But these celebrities are using it to get skinnier. And I feel like the distributors don't care as long as they make money. And meanwhile, it's like, everyone's just using it for the wrong reasons. And the people who really need it, whether it is for diabetes or it is because they need to lose like real weight, they're getting screwed out of it because these injections are going for thousands a pop now.
Yeah, see, it's just,
I think that's crazy.
It's crazy. It's money.
That is crazy, Diana. But I'm so sorry. Every time, like, the fact that you said that, the only thing that comes to mind is the commercial. Oh, Zepic.
Yeah,
I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah. Totally. You're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, I love it.
It's stuck in my head too.
I'm gonna say something real quick.
Go
Um,
ahead. Go ahead.
so my esthetician offers it. And she is also a friend of mine. The girl that does, like, I go like a couple times a year to get some stuff with my face. And I just asked her, I sent her a text and I was like, so tell me about this. Not really that I wanted it because I'm not overweight. Would I like to be a little thinner? Of course, wouldn't a lot of people, but I'm not overweight. I'm not classified as overweight. And I just wanted to know what it was like. And she told me it makes you nauseous. She says, I've been on it for 6 weeks. And she said, it makes you nauseous and it makes you not want to eat. And I'm like, well, I hate nausea. I can't stand it. And I like food. So I like food, guys. I like food and I like to cook and I like to eat what I cook. And I don't want to walk around feeling like I'm going to throw up all day. And that's essentially what she said. And I'm like, that's not worth it to me. That is not worth it. No. And then once you stop, you got to maintain it.
Yeah.
Ain't
That's
happening.
not, why would anybody want to be nauseous though? Yeah, like in that and trying to kill people, like Jeff said, no, that's not, no. Don't prescribe me nothing. Don't prescribe me any medication. Don't. And by the way, Marianne, you look fabulous for saying all that, girl. I don't know what you're doing, but you look fabulous when you said, I freshen up a little bit. I don't know what you're doing, girl, but you look great. Your skin is great, everything. So just a little side note, but yeah, no. But as far as that other stuff, just keep the false meds away from us. Okay. All right. Speaking of freshening up, and chemistry and just good things releasing from our body and just ingesting things. In closing, Love is Blind. Kwame Appiah responds to posts on Instagram that he and Chelsea Griffin in season 4 saying that they have no chemistry. Their friends are literally bashing them. Some fans are for them, the others are against them. They're bashing them right and left. The ones that have been for them are saying, keep going, girl, keep going, Chelsea. These Love is Blind people. Well, Kwame is basically standing up and saying, even though that he understands that his fans may see that, although this is happening, they had the most fun falling in love. Would you agree with them as a couple? Or do you stick with fans? Do you believe in on-screen chemistry? And do you think that it works for you? And have you needed chemistry in any area of your life, in the professional world or in the love world? Do you believe that this kind of chemistry exists? And do you agree with the show right now? I'm going to get to Diana in a minute because I'm so excited about this. I know she's into shows, but I'm going to start with Geoffrey because he hasn't talked much.
Okay, so I really truly think chemistry is a plus. When two people come together and they just vibe really well, people see it. It's just something natural. That don't mean that they necessarily have to be in love. They could just have a wonderful vibe. I've been around people when they see us together, my models, certain ones, we just vibe really well. And they just like, y'all just vibe so well. I was like, we just got great chemistry. We kind of think and feel kind of the same. So I feel like, they may not be in love. I don't know. I don't know really. I don't really watch that show, but I just feel like, sometimes it's just some people just have wonderful, wonderful chemistry. They work well together. They communicate well. They flow well. Like they piggyback off each other. I love people that they piggyback off me and I piggyback. It's like a challenge. It drives you. It pushes you to another level. I don't want to deal with people that, if not in a bad way, if they're not pushing me, I feel like, okay, I don't want to be telling you what to do. I want you to see something in me and push me, and I want to push you, but I don't want you to be going off of me telling you do this. I just feel like when there's a chemistry, it works. I always look for that. I look for that dynamic. I feel like it's like a power couple. When two people come together, they just, they accelerate together up the ladder. So yeah, chemistry definitely works for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. And I love seeing it in movies. I'm sorry. I'm one of those diehard. I got to see some chemistry. I got to feel something. Diana. Oh, we're so excited. We can't wait to hear from you, Miss Reality Show Central over there. Go
Okay,
ahead,
well,
go
I
ahead.
hate to burst your bubble, but I gave up on Love is Blind after season 2, kind of for this reason. I feel like it worked out very well season 1 because it was so new. Nobody really knew what they were getting into, and you had to find your soulmate without seeing them. But I think shows like that have a shelf life of 1 season when you have a gimmick attached to it, because then everyone who signs up for the following seasons kind of knows they kind of have a cheat code, right? Like they know the formula, they know what's going to get them more Instagram followers. And the second season, there was this guy, Shake, and he was the absolute worst. And he turned me off to the show completely, which is probably like bubbling his ego right now, but I don't even care. He pretty much, like he was really superficial. Like when they were in the pods and they couldn't see each other and they were getting to know one another, he would say to a girl like, oh, do you like going to music festivals? Like if we were to go together, would I be able to put you on my shoulders, like to see how much they weighed? And he would like go off that. Yeah, he was just like a terrible human. So I don't know, you kind of turned me off to the show. Now for this couple, I watched the Instagram video. Like they look cute, they look happy. If they're happy, fine. If they're scamming everyone so they can get more followers, like that's on them. I feel like The Bachelor and The Bachelorette have also had this effect. I stopped watching it because that annoyed me too. I do like Bachelor in Paradise. I feel like that they usually have more success on those shows. Like those couples, they last pretty long, and like a lot of them do have kids together and stuff. Chemistry is real. Chemistry is a funny thing. You could have it, like you said, in love. Like there are some people I talk to on dating apps and I know like we're just like hitting it off and I haven't even met this person yet. And I'm like, okay, I can tell we're gonna have good chemistry. And then there are other people where I'm like, okay, no, like we're just 2 different people, unmatched. And then like on this talk show, right? Like we all have chemistry. We would not produce a good talk show if we didn't bounce off one another. So I am a huge believer in chemistry. It is important to me. And then I'll get off my soapbox, but like these reality shows about love, like you got to go back to the drawing board because it's just not working anymore.
Yeah, I hear you.
So you believe in that. You believe in, you're fair weathered on the reality shows, but you do believe in chemistry. I love it.
And you know me, I love reality TV. Like I love my Housewives, I'm Vanderpump Rules. I'm all about that cheating scandal right now. But when it comes to just like The Bachelor, like I said, the first season and the first few seasons, because it started out in the early 2000s, I think, there was no social media. There was no Instagram, there was no Twitter, there was no Facebook, there was no nothing. Like we did not get on our phones during and after the show and talk about everyone. So people were really going on that show as a means to find love. Now, do I believe some people really go on that show to find love? Absolutely. It's apparent. But I think there are just some other people that are like, well, if I get with him, fine. If I don't, like, I'm going to get 1 million more followers out of this. I'm going to get my skinny tea deal. And that's just, I don't know. It just ruins the show for me. Like, I just don't care. I don't want to watch you.
That's very good. Quick question before moving. Who is your favorite couple on Love is Blind?
It was season 1. Oh my God, I don't remember their names. The Speeds, that's Lauren Speed, I think her name was. And then, oh my God, I don't remember his name, but they got married. They're really cute together. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. You can go on to Marianne if you want.
Marianne, what about you?
It's Lauren and Cameron. Sorry, Lauren and Cameron. They season 1, very good chemistry, very sweet couple. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Say it one more time so people can hear you.
Lauren and Cameron.
Awesome.
They got my seal of approval.
Marianne, what are your thoughts?
So,
do you believe in?
Yeah, I do. I do think that good chemistry is usually very apparent. And it also depends on the people. Like some people are really quiet. Some people don't like to show PDA. Some people don't like to show their emotions. But overall, yeah, I think good chemistry is something that you can usually see. I think it comes out in different ways. I think it comes out in how a couple grows as they're together, positive changes. I know for my husband and me, I became a lot more confident because of him, because he encouraged me to be myself. And he came out of his shell. He got really, he's silly now. He acts silly with me. And he used to not do that as much. And, just little stuff. But I don't watch this show that you're talking about. So I'm not familiar with the couple. But what I will say is any TV show and any couple is going to have people that love them, people that hate them. But I do think for a reality show or for something where their relationship is going to be publicized, the better the chemistry on screen, the more they're going to be liked. And the worse it is on screen, the less they're going to be liked. And the more drama and negativity that's going to be swirling. But what makes a good reality show? A little bit of both. I mean, where people are engaging, discussing, talking about it. And, whether their chemistry is good or bad, it's getting attention. So that's the goal. That's the goal of a reality show, is to publicize these relationships. And, I used to watch Married at First Sight. I don't know if you guys remember that show, but I actually loved that show. And my favorite from that show was Jamie Otis and her husband's Doug, because when she and him first got together, she was not attracted to him at all. Like, what it is they get married at first sight. She's never seen the guy. They match them up based on their characteristics and their qualities. And she was like crying. And it was so it was bizarre, because I'm sitting here watching them like, you just married this guy and you don't want anything to do with him. They're married now with 2 kids, and then they want a third. And I follow them on Instagram. They're super interesting and super cute. And she's very open about her life and what she's been through. But that was a very interesting show for me. I just don't have a lot of time to watch TV anymore. But that's the closest I can think of to what you're discussing. And I really enjoyed that. It was very engaging. It got my attention because these people are literally getting married at first sight. That's not something you see very much. So, but yeah, I do think chemistry is very real.
Awesome. So it sounds like majority of us, we believe in chemistry, whether that be seeing couples together or we just believe in seeing chemistry on screen. We prefer it to be on screen and off screen. It looks like it sounds like Marianne's she has her claims that people are off screen screwed up if they're on screen or some drama like that. Absolutely. I agree with that, actually. You just never know what you get on screen or off screen. Hopefully there's chemistry, and hopefully there's good chemistry overall. Well, these topics were great. We've talked about anything from food to, breakthrough in cancer to the latest trends. We have talked about it all. And any last thoughts from anybody before we close?
I love our chemistry.
I agree.
You don't know about chemistry?
Love it.
No, he says he loves our chemistry.
I love our chemistry.
Oh, you love our chemistry? I do too. I love you guys. I love it. I love it. I love that it can get controversial, and the next thing you know, we're all bursting into laughter. I love it. I love it. I love it. You guys are awesome. All right. Are we wrapping up? Yes. Okay. So, well, thank you so much for watching this latest episode of the FNL Network Talk Show. We've had great words and great insight from Marianne Estridge. We've had some interesting things about reality shows and other opinions stated by Diana Gebbia and her fabulous tattoo and her talent, and of course the famous fashion designer Geoffrey Owens. Thank you guys so much for your time and being on the show this evening. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, etc. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye.